Welcome to our podcast. My name is Nataly, and this is
Hager.
And we're going to talk a little bit about just mercy and everything you need to know. So our main character, Bryan Steven, he comes from not much. He went to school at Harvard University and studied law for a little bit.
He was rich.
Afterwards, he started a organization. It was nonprofit, and he started this just to kind of represent people who didn't have much and who could not afford a lawyer, and specifically those who were on death row. And he does talk a little bit about this before in the introduction. He talks about how he met one of the death row inmates and connected with him on a whole other level.
Bryan Stevenson's work with the Equal Justice Initiative, also known as EGI, has helped shift the national conversation about justice by focusing the attention on mass incarceration, because in the book, it talks a lot about innocent people being put on death row because of racial bias and their unfair sentencings. So through EGI, Stevenson brings a lot of public awareness to these issues because of the wrongful conviction and the excessive punishments to these poor people, because many of the victims on death row, they really didn't deserve such an excessive punishment, which is like one of his main focuses. His work has led to a lot of legal reforms, which opens up trials again so they can be sentenced to something that they deserve more, because like
a lot of these people had mental disabilities, no?
Right, a lot of these people did have mental disabilities. And also, if you're getting put on death row for something that you did when you were 13 years old, that's insane.
Yeah.
Like,
they're not mentally developed.
Right,
yet.
the mental capacity that you have at 13 years old, like,
so much more different.
It's just like you change so much. Like, your brain doesn't fully develop until what, like 25, 26?
Yeah, and there seems to be like a common denominator in a lot of these people. A lot of these people are from African American background, and so that's where the racial bias comes in, and how people who were of African American descent or were African American, they just got harsher punishments. And it's like these people are children. They're either mentally disabled children. It was a pregnant woman at once,
right.
or it was something like that.
And it just took so much for them to finally realize what they were doing wrong.
Yeah.
And it's just like, how many people were you gonna put on death row until it was enough?
Yeah.
The whole world? Like, you're crazy.
And so what does Bryan Stevenson mean when he says each one of us is more than the worst thing we've ever done? So what I think he means by this is that a person, I feel like, shouldn't be defined by only their mistakes or their crimes. Like, he believes that people have like the capacity to change. Like, after being incarcerated for so long, you start to like kind of realize what you've done. And a lot of people in death row were writing to him, I remember, and they were kind of talking about how like they wish they could do like normal people things. Like, I think Ian was the photo shoot that he wanted to do, and he was so excited and happy about that. And it's like, when you realize these are just humans who make mistakes, that's when you realize like, wow, like this is such a harsh punishment and they shouldn't be doing this. And like you said, like, how long is it going to take until you actually realize that it's too much, right? And it's just harsh.
Like, imagine making a mistake in your life and it leads to, for example, killing somebody. Exactly. You're going to be put away for the rest of your life because of one mistake that you made in your life. Like, there's just more factors that go into it, because like, just like, it's so excessive and it just pushes people over the edge sometimes.
And a lot of these crimes and these murders, a lot of them were manslaughter, right? Like, a lot of them, these were in defense. Like, people took somebody else's life, and this is not me like defending that. This is just me kind of trying to see that perspective and look through that. And
he also recognized a lot of people, and he was very, very compassionate to these people, even though they did these bad things. Like, I feel like that's really, really important. Just because someone messed up in their life, that doesn't mean you look at them through a third eye. Like, they're not an evil, bad person. Well, not everyone. They're not, like, terrible people, and they're not gonna, like, go and kill you. Like,
exactly.
There's just, like, some things in life where you need to take more factors into the situation.
Can you imagine just being put away? And, like, a lot of the people who were on death row, like, they weren't appointed to, like, they couldn't be represented. Like, can you imagine, like, he was talking about in his reflection how he wished he could have helped more people, and how it, like, he was still angry even though Walter like got his like justice, he got his freedom, he still felt that weight on his shoulders, because he felt like, oh, there are so many other people that could have had help and they're still there. Like, and Walter felt something leaving those people behind, almost shame, almost like guilt. Like, I feel like that like does a lot to a person, even though they're free.
And it's like, he's free, but like, from what? Like, how long did it take for him to be free? And imagine if this like nonprofit initiative wasn't ever created and he was innocent. What was going to happen? So they were going to kill him. An innocent person that did nothing wrong, they were going to kill him.
And the lack of evidence really just like kind of adds to that, because it's like, you have no evidence on this man. You have these victims who just like were wrongfully convicted, and it's insane.
And you're just like, you just want to be right so bad that it's pushing you to make the wrong decisions. Like, you're not looking at the whole picture. You're not even taking into account the evidence that is being provided right in your face.
Yeah.
You're stupid.
You're donkey.
You're like, yeah, no, actually blind.
Okay. Well, we're going to wrap this up here, and I hope you enjoyed listening, and our sources are from We Need to Talk About Injustice, the TED Talk from 2012.
And Bryan Stevenson's Just Mercy, A Story of Justice and Redemption.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.